Oh, hey, live. Welcome to your Friday edition of Around the Blockchain here on Boy Crypto. As you know, it's the largest and greatest and most beautiful looking crypto group and community in all of the interwebs. My name is Jay Chains. Thank you for joining us for a special edition of Around the Blockchain here on Friday. We got a great show for you. We got some great guests. Who do we got? Rice Baby from RiceTVx. Hey, look, he actually made it back from Mexico. Maybe he was held for ransom for all his NFTs. It's Stache. This guy keeps getting strikes, and no, this ain't baseball, baby. It's Blockchain Boy. And Benjamin, the hardest working man in crypto. How we doing, everybody?
Well, good. Looks like you're bringing back the backwards hat.
Yeah, I did it for you. It's like a retro thing for you. I'm doing it specifically for you. Now, it's funny. I grabbed the what seems to be the smallest hat in all of the hats that I own.
It is so small.
It should be like one of those ones with a little pinwheel on top. That's what I feel like. We're rocking the backward hat today. Anyway, this is Around the Blockchain. As you know, if you've never seen the show, you'll see there's a little zero down on everybody's little point total. If you're in the chat, just throw them a +1 if you like their answers. We'll tally the score up, and whoever's got the most points at the end of the show can leave us with a little bit of a parting word. It'll be good. All right, let's see. Before we get into the show, let's see. What are we talking about today? Futures contrast. It's the last Friday of the month. Futures are due in a little bit here. The Cuban crypto crisis. And finally, we'll end it with the third largest whale has bought some more Bitcoin. Very exciting. We'll see if that has anything to do with what's going on in the markets. And so let's take a look at Market Watch. All right, the crypto market is at 2.08 trillion. It is up almost 4.5% over the last day, which is very nice. I know everyone is very excited about that. Bitcoin is almost at 49,000. We're liking that. 3.85% in the last 24 hours. We love seeing green, especially on a Friday. We got some big gainers. Holy smokes, 40% on Arweave. I got some pretty good names in the top of the list there. But I like that Bitcoin price, man. Hopefully we'll get to 50K pretty soon here. I know we're all looking forward to that. All right, that's been your Market Watch. Make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you're subscribed. Go down into the description of this show and check everybody's links. Subscribe to their stuff, like their stuff, follow them because they put out some great content. All right, before we get into having some fun here, I want to ask a very serious question. BJ, will you just pull up the screen really quick? Rice.
No serious questions on this show. What are you doing?
Is Pluto a planet? Rice, yes or no?
Maybe.
What? Stache, what do you think?
That's not an answer.
Yes,
yes,
it's a planet.
No, damn it.
Yes, it is a planet.
Good. Stache, what do you think?
No, it's an icy little rock that doesn't belong anywhere in our solar system, and it's out of here. Just get it out of here. Don't talk about it. Don't give it nothing.
Blockchain Boy, what do you think?
As far as I'm concerned, Pluto is a planet, if only an honorary status.
Perfect. Ben, what do you think?
Give me Pluto as a planet or give me death.
I like it.
You guys are fools. You're all fools. You've been tricked all these years, and now it shows. You're
what is truth and what is science?
Well, you know, my whole thing was like, oh, you know how you had to memorize it? I don't know if you guys memorized it, but in school it was like my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas. If Pluto wasn't a planet, what did your mom serve?
There's no pizza. None of you getting pizza. It's over. Just give it
Friday.
up.
It's Friday. It's pizza night.
No, you get nothing. There's no pizza. There's no planet. There's nothing.
Okay. All right. Stache is he's the antagonist. He does not like Pluto as a planet.
I'm back from vacation and I'm coming at you suckers today. Watch out.
Here we go. All right, he's in it.
Crust from Pluto.
Yeah. I just flew in for Pluto. What can I tell you guys?
It must have been a long trip. No wonder you no call no showed the last 2 Fridays.
Whoa! Oh, I did not no call no show. I told DZ, and then the hurricane got me the last Friday. I literally got delayed because of hurricane, guys. I was gonna be here last Friday, and I had to stay in the Caribbean an extra day because the hurricane hit and flights were canceled, and I almost died. Well, no, I didn't almost die. Actually, I was
very dramatic. I like that.
I was comfortable in my suite, but it was.
Well, it reminds me, Stache, reminds me of when we almost died on that water ride at Disneyland last time we saw each other.
That's true. We did. We almost died, and your wife, dude, she was like so redeemed by the fact that that happened. It was amazing
because you refused to ride it, and then we got stopped.
I know, and the karma there. I'm just like, I'm glad you called in. She was so happy. It was hilarious. Yeah. That was hilarious.
Well, Stache, we are definitely glad that you are back with us on Friday. So thanks for making it back to us. All right, let's get this one started.
You guys, the mustache.
Oh, so cute. All right, so it's Friday. That means futures contracts expired today. Last Friday of every month, these options expire. Today, a total of 42,500 are going to be worth roughly $2 billion set to expire, which is not nearly as bad as the September or December that we saw. PJ, thanks for the graphic there. I appreciate it. Share. All right, let's see. Rice, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
As the banks become more involved in Bitcoin, will that stabilize the futures, or will we see more manipulation and volatility?
I think we're going to continue to see as much manipulation and volatility, honestly. I don't think that it's going to stabilize. They're going to take advantage of these price swings and being able to accumulate and take profits at the same time. So, but what's really interesting about this time around with the futures expiring is, we're seeing Bitcoin right now in the green. We're touching right under $49,000. So, I mean, everything is looking good, on target for us to be moving upward this weekend. And it looks like the institutions are on the same page and realize that we are in a bull run, and the manipulation periods where they were able to keep the price down is kind of at this point a little bit over, and the bull market is resuming in full mode. So that's kind of my thoughts on the futures market.
All right, excellent. Stache, what do you think?
I mean, look, guys, every time we go through this whole futures are expiring, oh no. I swear that, people just need something. They need something to worry about and to look at. Stop worrying about these small moves. Who cares? It's all about long-term thinking. What's happening right now is 100%, like I said, it's all manipulation, man. These people who are trying to exercise these options, it's not really working out to anybody but institutions' favors. And what we've seen here recently is, I think these have been springboards for Bitcoin to just go rocket up. They call it like an expiry, like a pressure here, but really it's a rocket ship, man. This is, and we've seen this the last couple of times. I believe we were on the show last time, because we always talk about futures expiring because we're always on Friday. I'm always on Friday. Yep. So last time we talked about it was the same thing, and I called it. I said, we're going high next week after this, and I think that's exactly what is going to happen again this time. We are going above 50K after these expirations this weekend and today, and next week we're going to see above 50K, and that's what I think, man.
Put your longs in then. If we're going up,
put in those longs, baby.
There we go. Blockchain boy.
No, don't put in longs. Wait. Did I say that? No leverage trading, no longs. Don't do that. Just,
This is not financial advice. This is just entertainment.
But if you are going to, please head to bitboycrypto.com.
Exactly.
Got him.
I'm just kidding, unless you're going to do
it. Links down below in the description. Blockchain boy.
I'll tell you right now, I stick by my word. I don't promote any kind of leverage trading or anything like that. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not saying I don't do it every once in a while, but it's something that I do very sparingly, and I don't necessarily recommend other people to be going to do it. Not that they're not going to, like you said. Like there's people that are going to do it no matter what you say. Mm-hmm. But you got to be careful, guys. I've definitely seen and heard many of people who have, lost things that they shouldn't have lost, and they bet on things they shouldn't have bet, and it's an age-old thing. Like, don't put money up that you can't afford to lose, but sometimes people just, they can't get past it. They can't get past that. These are simple things. Don't put up money that you can't afford to lose. That's all.
I get a point for that, because that is the rule number one in investing, is don't risk more than you can afford to lose. Blockchain
it really is, yeah.
Do you think it's worth trying to trade the volatility of this last weekend of the month, or do you think the game's too rigged for that?
Man, I've been flipping NFTs. I don't know anything about all this, but listen, I'm tired of futures contracts expiring. It feels like we have this discussion too much. I mean, at this point, I don't care about them anymore. It doesn't impact me. I buy and hold. I don't trade leverage. I don't have any referral links for leverage trading. I just think that most people, for 99%, unless you're gonna relax and burn $100 with an adult beverage on a Friday night. I mean, it's not for most people. Personally, I'm staying away from some of these short-term positions, but I did make some nice trades with ICP, but right now I'm just holding off and flipping NFTs.
There you go. I know you and Stache got a lot to talk about when it comes
right
to
there
NFTs.
with you, man. Me and Blockchain Boy, dude. We got to get more synergy going, man. I love what you're saying right now, and we got to talk about some NFTs, man. I got to get you on a DM, and we got to get into the NFT stuff, man, because for the longest time I've been the only dude on this show and in all the circles talking about NFTs, and everyone's like, "You're just crazy." And then 2021 comes around, and like, "Good genius, you're a genius, Stache. What the hell, man?" And I'm like,
Mind blown.
It's just so fun, if I can trade, I sold a pudgy penguin for like 10 grand. So anyone can make money in NFTs as long as you can follow the trends and know what's hot. And I think it's a lot more fun than just trading coins. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. I mean, I was flipping some Ether Lambos the other day, and some of these older projects have definitely come to light, and people are going crazy after them. I mean, these stupid pet rocks and stuff. I talk about it on my channel every single day. I'm not going to get into it here, but yeah, NFTs are crazy, diverse, fun, interesting, weird, creative.
That rock sold for 600 grand, man. That was insane. Right now, I've just been loading up on those Sympathy for the Devil NFTs. So I think that's the next wave for me.
This is a personal opinion of mine, but a lot of that stuff I think is just money laundering. It has to be. I mean, a picture of a rock is not worth $600,000. I'm sorry.
But it's a rare rock. There's only 100 out there.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Rare clip art, guys. Rare clip art.
All right, let's get back into this. All right, so data since January is showing that Bitcoin tends to move forward to max pain point leading up to the expiration and sees that a solid directional move is happening days after settlement. Now, history might be repeating itself with the max pain point for Friday's monthly expiration at 44,000. Ben, do you think 3 months from now, the price of Bitcoin is going to be up or down?
The 3 months.
Are we
from
talking
now.
about from now?
So that would be September, October, November. So I'm going to say up from now. Yeah, so I'm going to say up from now because I believe that Bitcoin will possibly go up and begin a 50% crash over a couple month period. But I think since we're below 50,000, we're at 49 right now, and since I believe it's going to get above 100K, I think probably it's going to be pretty close though. I think by the end of the year, definitely. And I would like to say, by the way, we are at $49,000 now, and this is exactly as we predicted on the live stream today. This is exactly the kind of behavior we saw last month. I think Stache alluded to for the futures close for Bitcoin.
Yep, same behavior.
Interesting.
Bullish, baby.
I like that. All right.
Well,
so
I will say this though. There is a possibility of some black swan events coming up. The world is in a weird spot. We have the eviction moratorium ending. There's some stuff going on in Afghanistan. I don't want to say anything in case YouTube's on my
money printer go bird. Money printer go bird. Who's going to print the way out of it? I know that Ben's talked about the deflationary stuff, but I'm starting to think after looking into it that they're not going to be able to control this. They're going to have to keep pumping more into the system to make it work.
That's what they want.
Transitory. It's transitory, guys.
That's what they want you to think. Why do you think they're telling everybody beware of the inflation?
When do they flip the narrative on that? Is that coming in like the next 2 months?
Yeah, for sure. I would say probably it looks like now, maybe November-ish. And that would be about the end of the altcoin market. So it'd be perfect timing. I have been a little concerned if they flip the switch right after Bitcoin peaks out, the kind of effect that could have on the altcoin market. So, but it's all coming. They're talking about the tapering coming in November. Look, the moratorium getting struck down, that's exactly in line with deflation. They're not going to be printing more money. They're not going to be giving any more. Look, I read this stat today. This is really eye-opening. You guys know when this eviction moratorium came around, they told all the landlords, don't worry, we got you. They passed a $25 million bill, I think it was, to provide relief to landlords. Do you know how much they've given out?
Nothing.
$3 million. $3 million. There are 15 million people in the United States right now who are probably going to get evicted in the next 3 months. 15 million people.
That's never going to happen.
Might have
That's
to call
never gonna
Chairman Mao.
They're not going to let that many people go homeless.
They're not- yeah, that's
Well,
never gonna happen.
you're right. Of course, it's not going to happen because now a lot of those people see the money train ending. They're going to go get a job and they're going to find something to do. It's not like all those people are just going to sit around and say like, "Oh, well, I guess we'll just be homeless now." These are people that are capable of getting jobs and working jobs. I talked about this morning on the live stream. There's a whole video done on a guy who is a landlord. He offered jobs to these tenants that he has. That one's on unemployment and the other one is just not working at all. They've not paid $1 in over a year, and he offered them both jobs. One to work in the office for the rental company, and the other one he's a cabinet maker to have him make cabinets. And they said no. They said no for a year. So what's going to happen is when this money train is running out, people are going to have to actually start working again. So the whole 15 million people, at least 3/4 of that are capable of getting jobs and pulling themselves out of the situation and getting a new place or staying with family in a short term. But there will be a lot of people on the streets. And these are households. These are not actually people. Like, these are households. So
there's already
by like 2.5.
There's already a lot of people on the streets, man. I mean, are you as a country, are you really going to accelerate the homeless rate that is already exploded by
they don't care.
not giving them more time to be able to do this? Of course they are. They're going to extend
Government
all
doesn't
these same
care.
things. They're going to keep doing
it.
You'll end up having homeless people rise up and stand together, and then it will end up getting a little bit crazy because you're going to have all these houses that are empty.
The reason
they won't be homeless anymore.
Go work to these places. If these places would pay a living wage, anecdotes aside, if these places would pay a living wage, I don't think we need to force people in. Like, we should not have to say either you're going to be homeless or you're going to work for a poverty wage. We need to pay people a living wage as a country, and there's no easy answer to that. But I'm just saying that seems to be the reason, the collective reasoning behind why there's not a lot of people going to work these.
McDonald's is never going to be a living wage. It's not supposed to be a living wage.
It's not a career choice.
People are not supposed to work at McDonald's for your career. Like, look, now that's not, look, no offense to McDonald's. My first job was McDonald's, and there are certainly assistant managers out there and managers that can make it a career. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, you're not supposed to be a cashier for your career for life. You're not. That's why those jobs exist, so people propel themselves to better positions over time.
No.
I would agree with that, but we subsidize that. We subsidize that labor. We subsidize that labor with our own tax money. You know how many of these McDonald's workers are on welfare or on other government assistance or Section 8 housing? We're subsidizing these corporations to pay these people.
You guys are missing the whole point. These are not McDonald's workers who are doing this eviction moratorium. These are people that had jobs before. Not all of them, but most of these people are capable of getting jobs, and the job market is very ripe right now. It's very easy to go get a job. Trust me, there are
so many jobs hiring right now.
Everywhere. This is a lack of wanting to get off the government tit. That is what a lot of this is. I've seen it with my own eyes. From they can't even get people to pour the concrete for my new house. Like, and I'm not saying like, oh, just go pour my. I just mean the builder is having trouble finding people, and that pays a pretty good price. These are not people that are working at McDonald's. These are not people, for the most part, that are working low-level jobs. These are people that are capable of working at mortgage broker companies or working at customer service or working as a receptionist or an assistant. These are people that are going to be forced off the government teat. It's not like all these people are going to be homeless overnight. That is not what is going to happen here. These people are totally capable. We see it, I've seen it with my own eyes, like I said, for sure.
Okay. Well, I totally lost control of this show for the last few minutes.
You never had it.
It was interesting. It was great.
Never had it.
Great. I mean, I love these conversations.
It's great conversation. It must be the backwards hat. I have no control, no power today. So let's try to bring this back in here. Let's get onto the Cuban missile. I almost said Cuban Missile Crisis, the Cuban Crypto Crisis. So just recently, I'm sure you guys all know, you've read that Cuba is set to recognize and regulate crypto for payments. Their central bank will actually be establishing the rules for the mainstream crypto transactions. Blockchain Boy, let's start with you on this one. What do you think about a communist country being receptive to Bitcoin, and are you shocked the way that they're handling it?
It's a little ironic, isn't it? The fact that
Don't you think?
the ultimate decentralized form of currency is being used in a communist country. I just think that's kind of funny. But then again, isn't Bitcoin, its vision to kind of become a global asset? And so that's going to mean, we've seen China, which is like an authoritarian capitalist, kind of reject Bitcoin. Now we're seeing a communist country kind of accept. So it's just interesting to me. I don't really have strong feelings about it one way or another. I just think it's just one more reason to me that we're in just the funniest timeline. But I'm sure it's because their local currency is just not looking great. So sort of an El Salvador-like situation.
Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be legal tender there soon, not just accepted. Maybe it'll be their national currency. Rice, what do you think about all that?
Wait, I mean, you did mention the national currency. I mean, or being legalized. There is talks about legalization for it being a legal tender. But one of the main reasons you're going to see countries, no matter what their political status is, whether they're a communist or socialist or just a democracy, a lot of this is going to be to get away from and get around regulations and things to that effect. You have a lot of control that's being done with the SWIFT system, with the US dollar, and things like this can also help these countries avoid these sanctions. In this particular article, it mentions that one of the reasons that they had looked at these options was because they had to temporarily stop accepting cash bank deposits in United States dollars, basically because of tighter restrictions that were set by Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of these now that we've seen El Salvador do what they did. I think they walked through the door and took some bullets, and the rest of the people now can start coming through. And there's a lot of countries that do not believe in what the United States dollar represents and how it holds down other nations. So this is it makes complete sense. Now, it is ironic that you do have a communist nation, using Bitcoin and maybe even allowing this to be a legal tender. But when it comes down to it, it makes sense to avoid sanctions and regulations and to get around the problem that we all want to see, go away. Because these, as I mentioned multiple times, regulations do not help. They're not working. So, and that's the reason why Bitcoin and decentralized cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology exists, is because of that exact reason. Regulations do not work. And you can get around regulations. You can get around sanctions. So more power to the people.
Yes. Permissionless. I think that's the one thing that sometimes we lose sight of, is that we're looking for regulation. We're looking for, I mean, obviously navigate the waters of where we are, but remember, we're permissionless. This doesn't need someone's approval, especially coming from a government. I think we can all agree on that.
I agree. CryptoZorg agrees too.
What's that?
CryptoZorg agrees too.
That's a nice lookalike. Your doppelganger.
I mean, it's become the thing in the chat. Everybody wants to talk about The Fifth Element. So great movie. Go back and watch it this weekend.
It is a good movie. I love that movie.
Never seen it in my life. I don't watch movies.
You have to watch it, Blockchain.
Cut him off right now. Cut his feet. Cut this dude's feet. Are you kidding me?
BJ, drop him like 5 points for that.
Yeah, you get minus 5 points for sure.
Yeah, right. Okay, so back to this Cuba thing. Earlier, Cuba had to temporarily stop, as you mentioned earlier, stop accepting cash bank deposits and remittances from the U.S. When Trump tightened the regulations. Do you think, let's see, Blockchain Boy, multi-pass. I don't even know what that means, but that sounds like you're in trouble.
It's from Fifth
Perfect.
Element.
Multi-pass?
Multi-pass.
Lino Dallas multi-pass?
Does that mean I win?
No.
Yeah.
Sure.
No. Oh, no.
You got to watch the movie, Blockchain Boy. Just watch it.
I haven't even seen The Matrix. I just started watching some Quentin Tarantino films last year.
Dude, Rice is in the movie. You got to watch the movie because he's in it. I mean, at least give him that.
That was him. He actually played that
I'll
character.
be very disappointed. I will be very disappointed.
Rice, if you don't have black hair next Friday.
And Halloween, man. Halloween's coming.
All right.
Oh, dude, you got to do that for Halloween. Yeah.
I might do it for the whole month of October. We'll see.
I love it.
I like that. I mean, the month of October is great for all that is Halloween. All right, Stache, do you think what is going on with this, like I just said, about the restrictions that came down with Trump and how they had to stop accepting cash deposits, do you think this is going to change because of what's going on with Miami and the mayor, really kind of opening up to Bitcoin? Because
what do you
obviously, there's a lot of Cubans in Miami. So
Oh, okay. I was like, where are you guys?
I didn't quite bridge that connection. My bad.
Okay. First, I will say, man, I want to go back to Miami just so I can get another amazing Cuban sandwich because I have the best Cuban sandwich I've ever had in my life in Miami. So if you guys are from Miami, you know about them Cuban sandwiches. Hit that +1. But beyond this, what I think is that we drove them to this. We drove them to have to go this route. I mean, when you're literally sitting there and you're being sanctioned and you can't use the world reserve currency and you can't deposit physical bills into your account. I mean, what are we getting? We're not giving them much of an option. And
Lucy,
then
we have a problem.
Well, right, exactly. And I come back to like what Rice was saying. Well, I actually disagree with the fact that this is something that the government. It's a surprise that a communist style government would be doing something like this and allow the people to use crypto. No, it makes perfect sense. If you're a communist government, you want to be able to track people's financial movements a lot more. What would you do? If it were me, I would make sure there was no more cash deposits, and then I would put them on a cryptocurrency platform and make them use all crypto so we could track their wallets and make sure we know exactly where every dime is going, who they're buying and selling with and trading with. And that is a precursor to, I think, what we're going to see here. And so you talk about that in contrast to like what's happening in Miami. I mean, we still have the option. If you're a Cuban in Miami, you have the option to still use USD and deposit in your account and do what you can. And I'm assuming they're probably sending money back to family digitally, right, through their bank accounts, because that's a pretty popular thing to be doing. Maybe they're going to start doing it with Bitcoin. Who knows? But where there's definitely a huge contrast there of how we deal with it in the United States, and it just being an extra option versus it. Hey, we were forced into this option, and now, oh yeah, and because the next thing will come is that, oh well, you can't do cash deposits. We're going to start accepting Bitcoin, but you have to register your account here with this certain government entity, and just like you would. And if any transactions that are above $5,000 worth of crypto, which that could fluctuate pretty quickly here and there, we're going to track that too. You guys don't think it's coming? 100% it's coming, and it's going to start in countries like that, and it's going to weed their way to other places as well. Privacy is dead, my friends.
Whoa, invest in Monero.
Encryption and privacy, yeah. Sad to say, but we can change.
They want to take it from us. They want to take it from us, but they're actually. And the funny thing is, they want to take it from us, but they've already learned that it's not about taking. It's about It's about forcing our hand and making us give it to them. And that's what we're seeing with this pandemic. They're using these types of things, not just the pandemic, but lots of cases like pandemics.
Second
like
Amendment rights, same thing.
To take more and more from us in the guise of like, but we'll protect. It's for your protection. It's to help us. It's for safety. They did the same thing around 9/11. And they're going to. Governments will continue to do this over and over and over again until we give them all of our rights and all of our privacy in the guise of like helping us and over safety. So it's going to continue to happen. It'll happen slowly over time, and we'll be the ones that give them the keys of the kingdom. Watch.
Keep your eyes open. Blockchain Boy, what do you think about all this? Do you think with the large Cuban population,
what's going on?
I don't know. That's the jam though.
Something happened. BJ said something's broken. I don't even know what's broken.
Where's it coming from?
Friday dance party!
We're having a dance party!
I don't hear anything, so.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Is there music playing?
There was music playing. It was the oddest thing.
Gotta love live production, ladies and gentlemen. So Blockchain Boy, we're going back to talking about all this, what's going on in Cuba, and then what we just spoke about with Miami and kind of them really opening their arms to Bitcoin and blockchain. Do you think what we're discussing is bigger for the Cubans or for the Cuban Miami population? Especially when we go with saying things. Blockchain Boy may be frozen.
We lost Blockchain Boy.
No, he just has that smirk all the time. He's always smirking like that with all his.
I think he is frozen though, but he came back. He did something. I thought maybe he was abducted because the screen.
No, this black. Is how he responds. This is how he responds. He's playing us right now, guys. He's playing us. He responds like this. He's like,
Well, point for you then.
I
Ben,
think he's I think Blockchain Boy is buffering.
Yeah, Ben,
AOL.
Ben, do you think this is a bigger thing for the people of Cuba or the families of people that are living in Miami, like Stache said, where they're able to send money back to family back in Cuba from Miami?
Well, I mean, we're seeing a lot of Bitcoin adoption, across the Caribbean and Central America and South America. So I think it's probably a win-win for both. But at the same time, like I'll just continue to stick to, what I've said for a long time, which is, if Cuba or any other country wants to switch over to accepting Bitcoin, they're going to run into a lot of problems. They're going to run into, kind of similar to what the United States did. They had restrictions on Cuba for a long time. IMF won't give them loans. And on top of that, it's not great for the people because the people are going to figure out like they don't want to be spending, $5 on a Cuban sandwich that one day is worth, $100. So when in America, we don't really get that because in America, like we can spend money in crypto and it's not that big of a deal. Like we have a lot of money here. When you're talking about countries where they're making $5 to $10 a day, that $5 or, whatever it could eventually turn into is huge returns. So if they're able to, to invest in crypto or have a crypto instead of spending it, and that thing goes 10x over several years, I mean, now they're actually, well above a livable wage. So I think that, all these countries are going to be sad none of these experiments where these countries accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, is going to work. So we'll just see where, we'll put the ball in Cuba's court, see what they do with it. But I understand. I do understand the argument of, the people in Miami sending money back to Cuba, that being big for them. I think that could be true.
Yeah. I think we'll just have to see how that goes because. Go for it,
I was going to say one more point on what you were saying there, Ben, is, I think that where, yes, it makes sense and you don't necessarily want to be spending something that is going to appreciate so much in value, but you also can't really call that something like, oh, well, it'll be a livable wage. That would be something more of like, hey, you're keeping this for your savings for a long-term type of thing, but you're not going to be, even if it, accumulates or it goes up over the course of 3 years, are you going to pull it out then and then use it and then it goes up again? So, I mean, no matter what, I think that there's always that opportunity cost of like, well, is this going to get me something now that I really need and want versus, me being able to actually hold it till later and have that ability? Because you're talking about, like you said, people who are maybe making only 5 USD or 10 USD per day, it may be worth it for them because they're that poor for them to be able to cash out now and get something now, whether it be food or, something in particular they actually have to have versus being able to actually hold it long term. So there is an opportunity cost there, and it really just kind of depends what situation you're in.
That's why poor people stay poor.
I get that, but when you're poor, man, and you may not have a choice. You may not have a choice. I mean, you try and do the best you can, and sometimes maybe you get lucky or something, but it's a hard thing to get out of. If you start off poor, it's not easy to come up from being poor. Trust me, I know.
And it also depends too on like where you're raised. I mean, I've heard stories about people in Korea that the things that they had to grow up with and see aren't things that any other human being should have to grow up and see. So I mean, a lot of those things are really just going to be dependent because I mean, we don't grow up in a world where it's normal to see dead people around us.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're all very lucky here in the United States in that respect. Even the people who are poor in the U.S., like we're U.S. poor. And like even the homeless people here, like, damn, they got a decent life compared to homeless or people in other places, some third world countries, man. Like it's a rough go.
Sad but true.
Yeah. That is a very good point. And I had a great segue planned, but you guys talked right through it. So instead, let's just make sure that No, you're good. You're good. Let's just make sure that we get those likes up. So if you're in the chat, if you're watching live, make sure that you hit like. It looks like we got about 1,500. Let's try to pop that up because there's over 6,000 people watching right now. So hit the like. And then make sure that
it's easy to do, man. It's one button. It's easy to do, guys. It's literally one button. Just do it.
Like the party starter. It's like the party starter button.
Yeah.
Hit thumbs up and start the party.
Start the weekend. Get your weekend off right.
All
right, let's hop into this last topic. We're going to be talking about the world's largest whale is buying some more Bitcoin. One of the largest Bitcoin whales has resumed their appetite for accumulating Bitcoin with 2 purchases in the last 2 days. On-chain data shows that they've snagged more than 500 Bitcoin yesterday and today. Blockchain Boy is gone, so we're not going to come to him. Rice, let me ask you.
He's back.
No, he's back.
He's back?
No, my internet went out. I'm back.
Oh, man.
I told you, he just always has that same smirk.
He always looks like that.
He's got that same smirk. He's just like, yeah.
All right, Blockchain Boy, I'm going to come to you.
You couldn't even tell.
He's a hologram.
Like
I don't think he's real.
Yeah.
I don't think Blockchain Boy is real.
I could be anywhere. These Japanese doors, man, these things, I could be anywhere right now.
You're in your dojo. You're in the Blockchain Boy dojo.
Hologram Boy.
Yes.
Well, listen, I'm just going to say this about this Bitcoin whale, right? Like, we've seen this consistently with the top addresses. They are almost like the perfect trader because they never panic sell. They accumulate at suspicious times because it always seems to go up. It's almost like they know something that we don't. And so this is a very interesting thing that we're seeing happen. So personally for me, I do like to take stock of whale movements, but I think there's more on-chain data than just that, but it is a good sign, I think. Because like I said, I like to follow the money because I'm not a billionaire, nor do I have like $50 million. And I like to see people who are making that kind of money and make the same kind of trades. It's just like when, Nancy Pelosi goes and buys some NVIDIA stock and then suddenly there's a contract announced. It's almost like the crypto version of that. So that's my 2 cents.
Very, very suspect. Rice, do you think that the DCA or swimming with the whale strategies are better to follow?
I mean, if you're just an everyday average person, I mean, obviously the dollar cost average is a winning strategy, especially when you're doing on a long term. If you go to DCABTC.com and you input anything like over a year, you're going to be in the positive, maybe even 6 months. So dollar cost average is definitely the way to go. I would even say on a large level, that is kind of what Michael Saylor is doing with MicroStrategy, because they have a medium price of what they've been doing and they've been staggering in the buys. So dollar cost average is definitely, I think, going to be one of the best, most effective, safest strategies. And as far as what these whales do, a lot of us aren't privy to this insider information that's going on. We're not the early OGs that are invited to the Satoshi roundtables, and we're not privy to some of this. But when we can watch the movement of some of these OGs, it does give us indicators. And I would agree with what Blockchain Boy was saying, that there's a lot of on-chain data that definitely helps, but this is something that people can use as an indication. And we need to utilize all the different tools that we have when we're making these decisions. That's how we're able to actually make educated decisions so that we can make better choices that actually work best for our situation. So those are my 2 Satoshis on that.
What do you think's worse, the manipulation that we're seeing, whales, or financial institutions bringing all their money into the market right now?
I mean, I guess it would be the lesser of 2 evils, with the whales being the lesser of the 2 evils. I don't like neither when it comes to that situation, but I'm not a fan of the legacy system or finance 1.0 in any degree. So on this sense, if I had to choose somebody to root for, I would be rooting for the whales versus the institutions.
I think.
Well, think about it like this. I mean, it's either a guy, with a suit and some kind of trading desk or something like that, versus some early Bitcoin millionaire in gym shorts and a cup of coffee with a laptop sitting in his bed. That's
right.
What I like to imagine.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you on that one.
Shout out to the OGs that they did this, that made those jumps, those leaps of faith, and saw something before other people did. That takes a lot of foresight.
Ben, what kind of advice would you give anybody that, maybe you're new to the space, or maybe you've been in for just a little bit, but you're really unsure of how the market works, and then you see these big swings and you hear people talking about whales? What advice would you have to someone that's just, again, trying to get into this, to either pay attention, like Rice was saying, it could be a good indicator, or stay away when you're seeing these big moves?
Well, a whale move by itself doesn't necessarily mean much. What means is the direction it's moving. So if it's moving onto an exchange, that's really bearish, because for one of 2 reasons. It's going to flood the exchange with more coins, and most likely they're getting ready to sell it. If you see stable coins moving into an exchange, that's super bullish, because that means that people are preparing to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or other coins off the exchange with those stable coins. If you see Bitcoin and Ethereum going out of exchanges in whale moves, then that means that the circulating supply on those exchanges is shrinking. Value should go up. And in a lot of cases, that's them putting money for a longer term hold, which, could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. But the key is it's not there on the exchange at that time. So we generally just talk about, do what the whales do, watch what the whales do, because that's the smart money. So I think that, overall, that the best thing to do is to analyze each one of these moves and figure out what kind of move it is. And then that'll determine, whether it's bullish or bearish.
Excellent. Rice, do you think that all these whales, and there's obviously a number of wallets that have quite a bit of crypto in them, but do you think whales collude together? Is there a secret whale society?
I would definitely think so. I would think that a lot of these people with money are going to be working together towards their goals, which is obviously accumulating more and taking profits at the right time. Because when you're seeing this, you're seeing you're seeing coordinated strategy moves on different fronts from those wallets that people are watching. So with that being said, if you're seeing similar time frames and similar moves taking place, it's either the same owner of the wallets or it's multiple people colluding and working together. And that's the best way to manipulate a market. And that's what we're seeing on the institutional side. I mean, when we're talking about what's been happening with Elon Musk and all the different FUD and how all that's been coordinated with the news and how the news was staggering out all these various pieces of bad news, it's all collusion. That's how you have to do it. I mean, that's how these gangs have been effective throughout history.
You're so right. All right, I got one last question for you guys, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day so that everybody can go home and enjoy their weekend. I'm going to start with Rice and then go Stache, Blockchain Boy, and then wrap it up with you, Ben. So this is the last question. This is a big one. This is what everyone wants to know as we go into the weekend. Are you bearish or bullish?
I'm actually born on April 29th, which makes me a Taurus. I am a bull, 100%.
Me too. Oh, that's right. I knew that. I'm born on the 30th. We're a day apart from each other.
Gaston's born on April 29th.
Nice.
Me and Gaston share the birthday. So,
Here
yeah. Bulls all the way, man.
Bulls, baby. Stache, what about you? What do you think?
I mean, guys, look at this. What does this tell you right here? What does it tell you? Bullish all the way, man. I just told you guys earlier that we are going above 50 grand. Make sure you are ready for it. Make sure you're ready for it next week. I know what's happening.
Excellent. Blockchain Boy, where you at? Where you feeling about this weekend? Where are we at?
I was born on May 15th. I'm also a Taurus, so I'm bull gang right now. Let's go, baby.
Bull gang. Let's go, LFG.
Let's go, Ben. Are you the bull gang or where you at?
I'm bearish on bears.
Yeah, there we go. I see what you did there.
That's like two negatives making a positive.
60K within 10 days.
I like it. Put those longs in. Stache, you're not allowed to. Everyone put your longs in.
Is that financial advice? Can I take that as financial advice?
Always.
All
right. That means that.
No, don't really take that as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor.
He said always. Cut right there.
My lawyers already have the tape.
BJ, cut the feed. All right. Well, that'll pretty much that does it for today. Rice, you got the point total in the lead.
I don't know how, but I got such awesome people on this show, man. I feel awesome and appreciative of everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody for watching. But I definitely want to, for this moment, I just would definitely like to restate what I was talking about last week. Go outside and enjoy life. Don't be looking at the charts all the time. I encourage you to go out and make sure you're checking out all of our channels and our social medias, and make sure you're subscribing to our channels. Hit that like button on this, and always tune in for BitBoy Crypto. And I'm appreciative of the gang. I wish you guys a great weekend. That's my 2 Satoshis. Much love.
Hey, you pretty much stole every word that I was going to say, so we're just going to leave it with that. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern on Around the Blockchain. Do something you enjoy this weekend and have a good time and buy some Bitcoin.